Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. It's the world away. We now got issue 98 of D'Agostini's Build Your Own R2-D2. Okay, after the hell that was issue 97 and putting those wires, we're not away from them yet. We've still got some more wires to put on, but we get to put the front on this time. And let's just show you what we got. We got quite a bit. We're going to be dealing with the lens, as you can see here. Putting the new lens in. We're actually going to be putting the camera and mounting the camera to the front of R2 as well. That's what's happening in the first two pages. Then we're going to be sorting out all the wires from the front panel, ready to plug into the center board here. And then last but not least, we're going to be putting the motor, or putting some more wires actually onto the main control unit there. We're replacing the little stop that we had at the top ring of the R2-D2 there, and then we're putting the motor in with the cross frame. Once we've got that, I'm just going to do a quick experiment, which probably won't happen until issue 99, but some people are saying that there's a really big gap between the R2 and the body, the head and the body. I quickly did it after issue 97, and I couldn't see a gap at all in mine, but we'll have a look at that together when that comes round. So without further ado, let's get cracking on this. What we need to do is get the camera out and be really gentle holding this. We don't want to bend this wire here. I don't need that now. Because it's going to look like that. I also need to bring the dome over because, let's show you, we're actually going to be putting, let's put camera's best. We're going to be putting the camera just on here, and it's going to be going on this way round. But the first thing we need to do, you see, I haven't got the polystyrene it come with, so I'm going to do it this way. We need to just feed this ribbon cable through here, just like that, and then we've got a couple of things to take off of here. I'm just making sure that this goes down so it's not tying into anything. They want us to take the front of this off, which is a protective front to the camera, and there's also an adhesive back on there. Can you see that? Just on that side camera there. So I'm going to take that off first. I'm going to do it slightly different to the way the instruction says, because I'd rather mount this first and then take that protective thing off the front afterwards. And we put it, you can only really go on one way. If you try and put it on the other way, it will, there we go. The wire won't fit down, but as you can see, leaving that front on means I can give it just a little bit of pressure there just to put that on. Now this here is going to be secured in with 2 times 4mm screws. Sorry, 2 times 2mm by 4mm screws, which I've already got set up here. These don't come with the screws that they give you in this issue, so I've just gone on to my box of tricks to get these out, but that's the first one in there. They're probably one of the tiniest silver screws that we've got. Just if you need help to identify them, I'll just show you on the camera there. Look, looks like that. So we'll get this one in as well. You want to make sure that that ribbon doesn't get kinked or anything like that on there. I'm still not going to take that camera lens off for the minute. Okay, once that's on and it's looking like that, I'll put the motor there just to stop it. They want us to put some little padding on. Not quite sure what this padding's for, to be honest with you. But they want padding just on the top section here, and then the bottom section just there. I haven't got a clue what this is doing, I have to say. So there you go. That's something that I don't know. So that's the first top bit of padding on, and then they want a little bit of padding. This comes with the R2 in this issue. I should have really told you all the things that come, and then we just put this bit underneath as well. Matter of fact, I'm going to put the bottom one on first, I think. That'll be a lot easier to do. I think that's probably what the instructions do. And then put the top piece over it like that. Perhaps that's for light bleed or something, I don't know. But that's that piece in, so it's just looking like that. Now I'm going to put this to one side because we need to change the lens that we've got on the front of the vehicle, front of the droid here. Now, as you can see, this lens is quite dark. I'll show you on that side camera. And this lens here is a lot lighter. So what we need to do is we need to take off this protective cover on that first. This is just one of those peel off things. Oh, it feels good. So good that it's hard to get off. There we go. So that's that one. And there's one on the other side as well. Full of static this is. So I get the one on the other side as well. Now the reason this needs to be clear. Come on. I want to get it off without scratching anything. There we go. Now the reason why it needs to be clear is obviously if we're going to have a camera behind that, if that's too dark, you're not going to see anything. So we've got to take the old one out of here. Now this is held in by 4 screws, as you can see there, so we'll just take them out. So how did you guys get on with issue 97 if you have done issue 97? If you haven't, are you looking forward to it? Just take these out. The other thing just to mention is, did you know 50% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to my channel? So how do you peeps know when I've put a new video out? If you want easy notifications, all you have to do is click that subscribe button, and that will get you tell you every time I bring a video out. Okay, so I'm going to take that off, and we'll take the old lens out. And as you can see, it's about 2 shades darker. I'm sure the police did their light test on that. We'd we'd be able to see what the actual tint of that is. But we just put that one in its place there, and then we'll put this back exactly as we had it before. There we go. So we'll screw the new lens in there. I'm going to do the opposite corners. Here's the second one. Nice and easy. And then the other 2. Not quite sure what we're going to do with the other lens there. Obviously, I'll be keeping that. That will be going into the box of parts, I guess. And that's the last one in there. So, looks pretty cool. That's looking like that. And then once we've done that, guess what they're going to let us do? They're going to let us put the actual top, finally, on the droid. So I'm going to take that protective bit of plastic off that lens there. And then all we got to do with this is put this on like this. And then slide it across. Slide to the left. All done. And that is now R2's eyes, show you on the top camera again probably, on. You can probably just about see a camera under there. I don't know, there you go, there's the camera. It's going to take pictures of us. Right, I'm just going to put that to one side. And hopefully it won't roll over, because that is the fitting the camera and lens cover absolutely complete. I haven't got the stand actually for the dome, that's why it's lying on its side, because look, it's reinforcing that shelf. Whoa, let's move out of the way. Up there. See? It's reinforcing that to stop that DeLorean falling on all of that. So, okay, right, next thing we're going to need is the front of the droid. So let's bring that up here now. Okay, so this is the front of the droid. And the first thing it wants us to do, where the motor section is, which opens up those little details at the top, they just want us to put this down the hole. And you can see just there, so that we can put all of these leads completely behind the unit, which I'm doing now. This might be a little bit fiddly, but we will be able to get it out eventually. There we go. I'm probably going to need my... God, Wayne, you should be ready for this. I'm going to need some tweezers, I think, just to be able to pick that up from there. There we go. And pull that through. There we go. And then that leads through. Just doing that little bit there took us all the way to stage 3. Okay, it says, take the AM label and clip it over the lead near to the plug. So this lead is going to be called AM. So I'm looking at the things that I've got here. Nothing there. There's not many left, so I should be able to find it soon. Nothing there. Is it going to be the last one I look at? Nope, AM. There we go. Just show you that if you didn't see that good enough in the last issue. AM, see? So we're going to be putting that on the lead here. Just like so. And that means that we won't lose that lead there. Once that one's on, it says we've got to take the ultrasound sensor cover that comes in this issue, and that is one of these pieces looking just like that. So what we do with that, you see this piece here that we put in, this is just basically going to go over the top of that, which does mean we need to take these 2 screws out here that we originally put in. And of course doing this does make me question, why didn't we do this first time? I ain't got a clue. Let's just get this one in. Sorry, my hands are in the way here. There we go, get this screw out. Anyone know why we wouldn't have done that first time? I haven't got a clue. Bit strange. Anyway, this goes on a certain way. It can only really go on one way. It's going to sort of like fit the wires between it there. So when it's on, it's going to look just like that. And then we've got to screw it back down again. So this was stage 9. Anyone got any ideas what that was about? Perhaps that's a cover because the sensors at the front might read some sort of background reverb from the motor or something, and that's stopping that. I don't know. There must be a reason why we've got it on here. But that little piece now is in place, and that was step 9 done. And then we're going to be putting the rest of the cables on. So if I put them this way around now, we've got cables, this black cable here, we've got this cable here, and we've got this rainbow coloured cable here, which I'm probably going to take off this little tie now, because we're going to be labelling these up with those tabs as well. So let's get on that now. The first one we're going to be putting on is the switchboard, which is the multicoloured cable here. So we're looking for a cable that says switchboard. Sorry, a label that says switchboard. Trying to find that's going to be fun. Switchboard, there we go. And yes, it does say the whole word, switchboard. So we're going to put that on, making sure we don't pinch this wire. I don't want to be pinching this one, I don't think. Because, there we go, that's the switchboard one done. Then we've got these two black ones. Now one of these is a RX and one of these is a TX. So let's figure out which one's what. The top one that's coming out of the unit that we've just put the surround on is the TX one. Now don't get confused with these, because if you're going to get cocked up in any of this, it's going to be that one, because you've got UTX and URX. The RX one is the bottom one. So I've got the top one here. I'm going to make sure I put that on with the TX one. So the one coming from the black thing we just put on is TX. I'm going to get the other one out now, which says RX somewhere. There we go. And the RX one is just the last one there with nothing else on it. So we can put that in just like that. Now I believe everything that's wire-wise on this has now got a label, which it has, so that's good. Now we need to bring up the other side of this unit, and just while I've got this up, just to let you know, I've glued these on. I can't see any way to screw them in. Perhaps we have to screw them in eventually, I don't know, but I've glued them on. It's not going to make blindest bit of difference, I don't think, because they kept falling off on me. So but I'm just going to take this little cable tie off now, because this wire now needs speaker, but we're not going to be dealing with the back at all on this issue. So this is just academic, to be honest with you. I'm just looking for one that says speaker. There we go. We can chuck one of those sprues away now. We've got speaker. So I'm going to put that on this one here. Just like that. And now that is going nowhere. So I'm going to put that back underneath my desk here, because we don't need that one. And then we need the motor here, which has only got one cable coming out of it. And this one's going to have a thing called HM. So we're looking for a label which says HM for this one. Let's see what I've got left. I've got CIN, H out, mic, HM. Another sprue gone. So that one can go on here. This is a great idea that DRL Studio Model Space have come out with, because when it comes to wiring these up and figuring out what they are, it's invaluable. So we've done that, and then we've got one more cable left to do. Sorry, one more. Oh, Wayne, get it right. One more to label up. They want us to label up the mic. Now the mic one is just a black cable coming from this. So I'm just having a look around and see what I've got. And that's this cable that comes from the top of the R2 unit up here. And it's this black cable here. It's black and white actually. So we're just trying to find the, I've got it here actually, the thing that says mic, so I can put that on as well. And there we go, I'm going to put that to one side again. Just like that. Because that's all the cables on that we need now. Now we're going to be bringing up the R2 unit up here, which means we're going to set up another camera, because we're going to be putting the front in and then plugging all of these wires into that motherboard. Okay, so I've got the top here. We're going to be putting this front unit on. Now, all these wires here need to go sort of like through this hole here into that. We don't really want it going over the top. So what I'm going to do is just thread these wires through. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this too well on camera, but trust me, I'm doing it. And I'm trying to hold all of these together to pull it while I'm putting the front on. So There's 4 wires here. They're going on good, and then we just make sure that when we put this on, it's sort of uniform so it can fit all around. And I'm going to make sure this is on absolutely perfectly. Did you see what I did there? I tilted it up kind of at the front and then put it down. So that is now absolutely on, which is good, which means now I've got to spin it round. It hasn't asked me to screw that in yet. I'm guessing that's going to be happening soon. It says the holes near the top and bottom of the side panel need to be end up aligned with the matching holes in the framework, which they are. I can see them and I'm ready to screw them in now. It says when the front panel is in its final position, it looks like this, which you've just seen. It looks perfect. It says plug the arm motor cable AM into its socket on the sensor control board. So this is stage 6. We're going to be looking for the AM wire. This is where things are going to get really tough now, trying to find things. And it's got to go into the AM control board. I am referring to my picture from last time, but the AM one is, I don't know if you can see this on any camera, it's the one on this board on standing upright. It's going to go in there, so I'm just got to pick out the AM lead, which I've got here. Just need to make sure it's going to go in the right way. And we're just going to push that in there. There we go, we have the AM one in. Now you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing here, so I think I'm just going to tell you what we need to do. We need to put the AM cable in, we need to fit the surplus, we need to put some wire tidy on that. We need to plug the switchboard cable into the socket on the main control unit, which again lines up switchboard to switchboard. And then we need to put the send and receive cables, which is the UTX and the URX cables in here, making sure that we've got them the right way round. So let's do that now. Okay, so that's all of those cables in now. The TX is the one nearest this side here. The RX is this one here, and you want to make sure that they've gone in all the way. I'm just checking that they are pushed in. I think they are. Yeah, they're not going to go in anymore. So they're looking pretty good. The switchboard cable is this one here, where you can see my finger tapping. That's gone into the motherboard there. And then the last one was the one just on this side, which was that one there, which we plugged in. So I hope that helps, but it's really hard to film this, but we're looking like that so far. So the next thing we're going to be working on is we're going to be replacing this bit here with a new stop. So this should be able to be visible on the main cameras. There we go, I've laid this out exactly like it did in the instructions there. Basically we're going to be putting these together just by putting these bits on here. Now just bear in mind there is slopes at the top of these. You want to make sure the slopes on either side are okay. Let's just show you on that side camera there. So when we're putting them in, it looks just like that. And then we're going to be putting the top over here, simple enough, just like that. And then we're going to be securing these down with the old faithful 2.3 by 6mm screws. Now the ends of these, unlike the little block that we put in there, are actually rubber. So I think that's probably why that's been changed. So we're just going to put that in there now. And then all we're going to be doing, it's not going to be sitting that way round, it's going to be sitting that way round. So when I bring this back, I'm just going to see if any camera can see this. There we go, you can see this on my side camera. I'm just going to take this screw out now, because, like that, we don't need that bit again. That can be consigned to the part, so we make sure that we put this on the right way. It's going to be going on that way, just like that. And then we can screw this back down again. That was a nice easy stage, wasn't it? That was all the way up to stage 8 of fitting the rotary sensor housing. What really makes me laugh on these issues is the time that I'm spending doing this is actually putting the actual setting the cameras up. Right, first thing we need to do is we need to put a lifter into these little points here where the motor's going to be going. I think they've realised that when the actual motor's on, it's not sitting flat, which is why we've got these little lifters. Now they go on the rear one, so if this is the front of the R2 unit, obviously they go on the rear, and they're just going to go on just like this on one side and just like this on the other side. Nice quick easy fix, that one. Once we've done that, we're ready to fit the dome assembly now. As you can see, this is the dome assembly here. This circular part is going to be pointing towards the front of the R2 unit here, so it's going to be going in that way just like that, with the cable coming out the back. So we're going to put this on here, and it fits, if you can see on this camera, just over these pins here to line it up. So let's get that in now. This is where your wire tidy comes invaluable, because it's going to be sitting on top of all of those wires. And you know what? We've still got wires to fit in this yet, so they're going to be fun to put in, aren't they? let's just get these in. There we go. That's seated absolutely perfectly there. So as you can see, we've got the front pointing outwards. Now we're going to be securing that down with 2.5 by 8mm screws, but these come with washers. So we need to put a washer on each of the screws. So I'm just opening the bag here. Now the 8mm screws are the longer ones that come in this pack. So you haven't got to dig around for those. So I don't know if any camera's going to see this, but as you can see, I've just got a screw here. Just going to put a washer over the top there, and then we're going to get this starting to screw in without dropping any of the washers. So I'll put the first one in. There we go, that's gone in absolutely perfectly. Do the second one, and I think I'll do the opposite side corner for this. This is what happens when you have to rebuild engines. You end up, when you're doing screws, putting them all in the way that you would if you was rebuilding an engine. Right, so this one's going to go in this side just over here. Just like so. Excellent. Two more. We're almost come to an end of this now. Once this is on, we've just got to do a little bit more in the dome. Get this one in. Just with the underside dome support that we need to put on. So that's 3. Last one. And then, why it's asking me to do this now? I should have done this first. I bet you any money I'm going to have to stop this and put it on, because the lead that's coming from the motor here, which is this one here, which is labelled H&M, we need to plug into the H&M socket, which I'm trying to figure out where it is. Okay, the HM is basically on this side over here, just above the rainbow cable. Just underneath this SC here, as you can see, that's all plugged in H&M there. Actually, that's a brilliant shot there of the all the links, but there's the motor cable in there as well. So that's all good. Now, they still don't want me to screw that front panel on. I don't know why they don't want me to screw the front panel on. They haven't said anything about that at the moment. So there you go. Last thing we're going to be doing is we're just going to be bringing this across again. I'll leave that lightsaber there just so you can see that. Looking just like that. Right, for the minute it wants me to take the microphone cable and just run it under these 2 clips, as you can see there. Don't quite know why we're doing that, because I'm guessing that's eventually going to clip into the motherboard, and if that's the case, there's definitely going to be no slack on it there. But I think they're just doing that just to keep it out of the way while we put the last piece in. And the last piece is this bit right here, which is the pivot point. And as you can see, it's got 2 ways round. The way round we want is this point here. And as you can see, you've got a lug on this end. Now this lug on this end is going to be going towards the nearest one, towards the lightsaber housing there. You can see we've got 2 little holes in there. So this is going to be going on just like that. And it's going to be facing that way round, exactly as you see it there. These are going to be secured in with a 2.5 by 4mm screws, which come in this delivery. And we've got 6 of these to put on, so let's screw them in. And then once I said, that's pretty much all we've got to do in issue 98. I will show you in a minute what we've got to do in issue 99, which I believe we are going to be installing the actual motherboard, which is controlling the thing in the main unit. As a matter of fact, because the PC board's going in the top of the helmet, that's probably why we had to clip that microphone there. I don't think that will be controlled by the motherboard in the body. It will be controlled with the one up here. So we'll get this in. Oh, it's looking good, isn't it? 2 more issues, people. Again, this was a really hard one to film, so I hope you saw most of it. I do try and get it so you can see everything that's possible. And that's pretty much done. That's all we have to do for that issue. But I am going to bring the R2 up now, because I want to see if we have got some sort of gap. As you can see, the R2 helmet's on. It doesn't move at the moment because obviously it's being controlled by the motor. That's the gap I've got underneath. It's a little tiny one. It's probably a couple of mil. It's hardly noticeable, to be honest with you. So I think that looks all right, though. That looks really good. Anyway, look, I'm just going to push that camera back a second. That was issue 98 done. Issue 99, we have got one part, which is the dome circuit board. This is going to be pretty much the thing which is controlling all the bleeps, the bloops and the blups and all of that for the vehicle. That's going to be hopefully coming sometime the end of the week. 2 more issues to go, people. Pretty cool. Anyway, listen, I hope you liked that issue. Just so you know, there is 2 bits left over from this. We've still got some bracket mounts, which I believe will be for that little circuit board that we've got coming in. But hopefully that will come out at the end of the week. Other than that, take care.